Good morning and welcome. Uh, Today's meeting is going to be a budget workshop meeting. I'm going to call this meeting to order. We currently have quorum with the three that are here, including myself. Apologize. The time is 10:11, and I'll now call this meeting to order. Our agenda item 2, invocation and pledge of allegiance. Our invocation today will be led by Deacon John Sines from the Cornerstone Baptist Church. If everybody would please rise. Good morning, Mr. Sines.
Good morning.
Deacon Sines.
Father in heaven, we acknowledge you as being all-powerful and all-knowing. You bestow your rain upon both the good and the bad in our area. You bestow your blessings on whomever you see fit. We pray, Lord, today for wisdom and discernment for the council members as they begin to discuss their budget. We pray that the department heads, that the programs, that the projects all use their funds wisely and efficiently. Thank you for these workers, Lord. Thank you for the city leaders who work tirelessly for the benefit of this community. We close with a short reminder from the St. Paul. Paul wrote in his letter to Timothy, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all of those in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified. And Lord, that's our desire, to lead a peaceful and quiet life. And it's in the name of Jesus, our Savior, we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Deacon Sines. Mr. Garza, would you mind leading us in the pledge?
Will you please put your hand over your heart? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Garza.
Thank you, sir.
Now move on to public comments. We have no public comments today, correct? None? Okay, thank you. Then on to agenda item 4.1, review and discuss 2024-25 fiscal year revised City of Alice budget and 2025-26 fiscal year proposed City of Alice budget.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This will be the first of our budget workshops, and what our goal today is to go through mainly the general fund that has the most departments in it. All the others are enterprise funds, and we'll go to that on our second budget workshop. So the general fund includes the city council, administration, city clerk, the library, codes, inspections, streets, police, fire, parks, and I'm probably leaving some of the departments out because it's got a bunch of them. But that's what we're going to start with. Want to point something out to you guys. So our budget book, something that we've been doing for a long time is presenting this budget book the way it is. And it does take a lot of work to put it together because we have to transpose, print it out from our ENCODE 10 budget, and then export it into a spreadsheet, organize a spreadsheet, print it out. So when we get the final information from the appraisal district, which we did, we had already printed this budget book out, and there's not enough time to go ahead and spend about 3 or 4 days of what it takes organizing it this way. In the future, we may be looking at changing the format, being able just to print out and not do so much manual work to it, but it is a totally different format. The budget comes out landscape. It's detailed, actually more detailed, but it's just a different format, and our budget is really easy to read and really easy to go through. But as of now, we're keeping the same format, and I really want to thank our staff, finance, for all the work they put into it, because it is tedious to organize a budget. I'm going to hand it over to finance so we can jump right into the general fund.
Good morning.
Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning.
We could start with the general fund revenue on page 7. Okay. The total general fund revenue for the proposed is $14,369,083. property taxes and sales tax is the bulk of this. So I did want to say for the sales tax, we did budget $558,000 per month, which is about an increase, about $10,000 per month from last year. And we also, on the property taxes, we did estimate higher, and this was just based on what was needed for this year's budget. Our franchise license permits, a lot of those, we kind of left them in line with prior year's revenue.
And if you look on page 7, so one of the things that we get asked, we asked several times, I think Council Member Gatsa asked about the half a cent. That half a cent generates 2.2 million for us. That's the same dollar amount that generates for the county inside the city limits. So here's a quick way to point out what they're gathering inside.
Yeah.
That's on page 17?
Pardon?
Page 17?
On page 7.
On the top,
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
30101.
And we'll get to the police and fire department here in a little bit, but since it's part of the general fund, just to give you an idea of how things work. Combined, police and fire, this budget is about $7.7 million for those two departments. And so on the ad valorem taxes right here, so for the maintenance operations, we're estimating 3.4 million of property taxes. The additional property tax we collect, the 2.1, is the interest and sinking fund, the INS. But if you were just to include the complete property tax that we collect, that still doesn't fund the complete police and fire department. So then it's got to grab from the sales tax. So sales tax is what makes us whole, as a general fund.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Garza?
No, sir, not at the moment on this.
Mrs. Bowen, any questions?
No, not right at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on.
Okay. Next, we'll begin with the expenses, and we did kind of stay in line with last year on some of the items. We did ask departments, to cut back. So another one was travel. We asked no travel unless it is something that the city is requiring for you to have a license for, and you do need the training for. So those were some of the items that we did ask them not to do unless it was required of them. But we'll start with City Council. On page 11, we pretty much stayed in line with the budget from the prior year.
We did want to see if, on the travel expenses, if there's some things that you guys do want to attend, we wanted to come up with a number. If you guys wanted to put a number here, remember, we've got to find somewhere to cut to put that number in. But if we have an idea, as we work through this budget in the next couple of times, we can try to work together and come up with a cut to be able to add to certain places. And there's several along the budget that we have that where we know that there's something that you guys might want to do, and we'll work through those. So on the travel, I think if y'all want to add a number, if you think you may want to attend some of these events, let us know what number you feel comfortable with as far as travel expense.
Do we know where TML is going to be this year? Does anybody have an idea?
Okay.
But if not, it's okay.
We can circle back to it also if you'd like.
Okay. Good. Mr. Garza, you okay?
I'd like the idea of being able to put a little bit of money in for our TML training. If at the most, maybe we go back to the 23-24 budget And if there's any money left over, of course, we can always
Right.
put it back anywhere else we need to. But
Around the 8,000 range or something, try to,
It's in Fort Worth, Michael.
okay.
Fort Worth?
that's where it was 2 years ago, up there.
Okay. Ms. Bowen, any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on.
Okay. Next, we have the city clerk department. This department, we do show a deduction for the proposed. That was due to the professional services, which covered the election cost. We may have to adjust that one just based on the upcoming meeting. And I believe, do you have an
So I
estimate?
already have an estimate from the county for 23 to 26,000, and then to publish twice in the newspaper will be like a little under $1,000 for the publication. Then obviously that's-
So about 25,000.
So that will be an adjustment we'll need to make, to add in, well, depending, of course, on the meeting.
And that, I'm sorry, and that's for our proposed bond election, or?
Yes.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Any other questions on the city clerk department?
Mr. Garza?
No, sir, not at the moment.
From now on, like, just ask us questions, like, and, like, at the end of each one.
Okay.
And we'll start with Mr. Garza.
Okay.
Okay,
Will do.
that way, not so many breaks. Thank you.
Okay, next we have administration. This department, there was no big changes at all. Pretty much in line with last year's. Any questions on administration department?
Mr. Garza? Ms. Bowen?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Next, we have the general service department. We did freeze one position here, the general maintenance tech position. This department handles a lot of the city hall repairs, services. This takes care of the general fund's insurance, things of that nature.
One Mr. Bonilla had?
Yes.
Okay. And we are gonna fill that, right?
Right now, we don't have budgeted. If we do throughout the year, think we may need to, it'd be a good position to fill. We're just, sometimes it does pay for itself with the call-outs and things like that. Right now, we just haven't, we didn't budget it, and if we feel, mid-year that we do need to fill it, we'll do a budget amendment for it.
Okay.
We did, one thing I did want to bring to your attention, we did, this year was the last year for the sales tax repayment, so we did not budget for that next year. But we did have an increase in our property liability insurance. We did receive some estimates, and I believe in general fund it did go up a little bit.
Which line item was that, Vanessa?
The sales-
Official administrative. It's on page 18, midway.
Yes.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Okay, any
Any
questions?
other questions? The next department we have is civil service. There is an increase in the promotional exams, but this is just so that the officers will be able to test and promote. Any questions?
No.
Oh, good.
Next, we have the emergency management department. There's no real change in this department.
So are these amounts like stipends for somebody or what?
Yes.
Yes,
Same,
Yeah.
same thing with the civil service?
Yes.
yes. Mhm.
Thank
These are stipends for, to assist Patrick, correct? I mean, in emergency management. I know Dolores, is she getting a stipend? Because I know Dolores and Dee did do a lot of work for an emergency.
No, and, you know, this is one that we looked at a lot, and we're still trying to look at whether we're gonna make changes to this along the way during this budget cycle, because, you know, there's, the allocation of duties for emergency managers is spread out through a lot of people.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't receive stipends for emergency management, and they still do a lot of work. And so we're revisiting this. It was one of the last ones we looked at when we were proposing the budget, so we left it intact. But it also we wanted some input, like what you're talking about. I got some input from some other elected officials too about how this may need a change. So I think this is one that we'll probably revisit again
Okay,
when we finalize something.
okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have the finance department. One thing we did is, on this department, we did move the grant writer position to the finance department, just to be able to work more closely, and we just felt the grant writer didn't need a department on its own. It works with finance so much, so closely, that we could just include them with our department.
And who's taking over that position right now?
Desiree.
Ms. Desiree.
Desiree, yeah, okay.
Yes. She's doing a great job. Thank you, Desiree.
Yes.
I have one question, Mr. Molina. I understand that Olga's retired now. Is she on here, or did we replace her?
We haven't replaced her. It's something that we're working through, and right now we're kind of doling out responsibilities, and we're trying to go with it, not field, to help out the city. But we
Okay.
do have it funded here.
So it is funded?
It's funded, but we're gonna try our best to,
Which one is
The
she? I'm
accounting
sorry.
she's the accounting clerk.
And this is another.
Accounting
accounting
clerk. There it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're also, looking at organizing this department a little bit more. We spent quite a bit of time on how to do that, so bringing grants in there. A grant was a one-person department. We went ahead and, doesn't mean we're not doing any grants, we just did it under finance, and we're looking at organizing this and see how we can fit these positions a little bit better and more efficient. So it's
Because
gonna-
technically, right now, finance is down 2
Right.
people.
Say that again, Jim, I'm sorry?
Right now, as of Olga's retirement, we're short 2 people from
Wow.
this time last year.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
One other thing I just wanted to bring up, an increase for our department, was the appraisal district, the collection and costs. They did go up compared to last year.
So just a quick question, how are y'all holding up with those 2 vacancies?
We have a great staff. They've been pulling away, but I mean, it's a struggle because we have a lot
I
of
can ask
projects.
Michael to leave the room if you like.
Yeah.
No, we've asked a lot of our staff and they've stepped up, but
Wow.
it's something, like I said, we have it funded. We're gonna try our best, but I mean,
Yeah, most of the things that we do, and finance gets pulled into a lot, just like the city clerk department gets pulled into a lot. So we're revolving about it with all the different projects we're doing between administration, city clerk, and finance. So we do rely on them, just like we rely on our city clerk's office to make everything happen. And it is a lot of work that we push out and we have to go through on a daily basis. So we kind of all work in tandem. So as we look through what we need, it changes at times.
Well, it's nice that comes out in the light sometimes, we're being good stewards and trying to kind of cut back what we can, contrary to what, the popular belief is, we're always, too top heavy, whatever, so anyways, okay, I'm good, thank you.
Next, we have the information technology department. The only increase in this department was just the citywide subscriptions, and this was just based on the cost and what was needed.
also I'm sorry, yes,
No, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, no, this is, I want
Open
y'all, I
forum,
want y'all to
okay.
just talk. Once she's done, I'd like
Okay.
for y'all just to ask in turn.
do we plan on funding the network technician? Do we need another technician? I mean, is that something you might look into? I don't know on your day-to-day basis, you know, I know Hector does a lot, you know, running around, getting things ready. I'm just wondering if that's something you,
But who replaced Jim?
that's what I said, Hector.
We have Hector and Matthew in IT right now, and it's kind of, they've shared responsibilities. Hector stepped up to the Jim's position, and Matthew's picked up a lot of the responsibilities as well, so it's kind of, they spread it out.
I just know that IT in any office is a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and I mean,
A lot of work.
we look at that kind of regularly to see what the workload is. We've tried a couple of different things to, some of them are trouble tickets that we have problems filling, but, yeah, we didn't include filling that position right now. If there does come a need, we'll relook at it.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Who determines that? Like, who actually, like, sits down and says, okay, because initially we had 3, right, when Jim
Yeah,
left?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or no?
No, we had
How many
three.
do we have? No,
We
we just
had,
had 2, right? Or
Roger was here.
Roger was here.
He's not helping anymore,
Well,
right?
at
One time it was just
times
Jim.
we've only had one
Yeah, I
person.
remember.
Then the one time we've had 3, and now we're down to 2.
Okay.
And we get a little bit of help from some of the other departments at times for troubleshooting, because some of the easier trouble tickets or some of the easier things that need to happen with each department. There's some departments that have some people that can assist their other colleagues, so, yeah. But it's, go ahead.
Yeah, Hector? I'm just curious, you know, if anything,
Hello, Mayor and Council. Thank you
hello,
for having me this
Morning.
the
morning.
workload.
Yes, so I just wanted to kind of step in and fill in.
I should have called you up here. I apologize.
It's okay.
You were working over there, so I didn't want to bother
Yeah,
you.
working the council meeting and, yeah, so, no, between Matthew and myself, we cover all of the citywide IT needs.
Okay.
We cover every department, library. What I've noticed this past year is actually everything's being computerized. Everything's moving away from paper. So that's kind of going to put a little bit of a strain on us because we are having to update systems. We're having to work with software. More often than not, we have software that comes into place and it's not compatible with our system. So we have to experiment, and either if it's something they want, we have to make it work. If it's something that they don't really care for, we can tell them, okay, yeah, it's not going to work with us. We're going to have to purchase a whole new server. But between us two, it's quite a bit of work that we have to maintain. We have server maintenance and network maintenance. We also have the daily workload. We get a lot of phone calls just this last year alone. We've had over 1,000 support calls, which we've resolved. We've closed out over 400 help desk tickets. What else? Oh, and there's several undocumented walk-ins that we have. So it's quite a bit of work between us two. So I did want to kind of entertain the network technician position if possible.
Oh, okay.
It would help us out a lot because this year we have Roger, who is our outside consultant, who's also being unfunded. And he was our cybersecurity consultant.
Say it again, Roger, what?
Roger Ward,
Uh-huh.
he was our cybersecurity consultant.
Okay.
So
He's being unfunded.
he's being unfunded this year.
We didn't fund that. We're still talking to him about if he wants to continue doing some work, and so we're looking at that as well. We just didn't put it in the budget right now, and if we need to make an amendment, it won't be that big of a salary to change, but we've talked to him several times.
Yeah,
in the
part-time
past
maybe or
month.
something?
Yeah, doing some part-time
Contract
remote work. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe are you talking more like a hands-on person, somebody
would,
on
because-
decks here
Yes,
physically?
because if we do get threats, which CrowdStrike we've invested in,
Uh-huh.
which is a great
Yes.
endpoint security software that we have,
Right,
it doesn't actually resolve the threat. We have to have somebody physically in-house to sit there and
that's what I'm thinking.
take care of PC issues. And between, like I said, between Matthew and myself, we do have a lot on our plates already, so somebody has to be available. And I honestly would like to make that network technician position more cybersecurity based. That way we have somebody in-house, and instead of having to rely on outside consultation for that, we have somebody there ready to go.
Okay. And Gabriel, what would that be for salary for one network technician, more or less?
That,
Do you know?
no, I apologize for that, because, I mean, when we were doing, we haven't had that discussion as far as what they would need that I would say mid-30s is what I'm throwing a jab out there, but we haven't gone that far.
Depending on that specific skill set too, that could play a part into it because they still have to have certifications. They also have to have the background in it. So even like public sectors, if they have cybersecurity specialists, they're like, 30,000 up to 50,000. I've seen some up to 80, but I know, like I said, I'm trying to help the city out as well too. Like, so we take on quite a bit of work ourselves,
Yes.
even stuff that's outside of our scope. Sometimes we get called from other departments, and they ask us to help them with something that's, like I said, outside of our scope. So whether it's something we know or something we have to pick up on ourselves, we're
Of course.
we're very helpful in that sense. So for us, having that third hand would, if I have to stop what I'm doing, he can just slip right in. If Matthew and myself are both out, we have somebody
That's
there
it.
to take over. Yes.
It may be trying to find something like great, something in the middle, right? Something great, to where, because right now you're handling all this, right?
It is a lot, yeah,
So maybe-
between the
maybe-
budget.
Maybe this person can be at a lower grade level and do kind of the items that aren't. as
Absolutely,
kind of,
yeah. And I would
given
like to
our
focus to be
situation.
more on cybersecurity, but we would definitely do cross-training, the daily calls. It helps a lot with our ticketing system because we can enter notes. So things that we've had happen before in the past, we can just kind of search it up, and there it is. It's like, oh, this is what we did to fix it. And so the next person just kind of slips in and be like, let me try that, and it'll help out a lot, so.
How long have you been here, Hector?
So this is, I've been here coming up on 5 years in February. This is my first year since Jim has retired as the IT manager, and it's been a lot. So,
Okay.
yeah, I love it here. It's just
Well, you're doing a good
it does
job.
get a little bit stressful at times. Yeah.
Well, we don't want our folks too stressed, right? So
That's
you know,
right.
maybe we can look into this, come back to it. Y'all can sit down and
Yeah.
put your heads together and we'll get lost in the weeds here, you know. But as far
Right.
as kind of
Just so
Michael thinks
so y'all
about
know
that.
on the cybersecurity side, so CrowdStrike does protect us, and that endpoint security protects every machine that we have. And what we would need if we get some kind of threat, they can shut down each machine, isolate, and do all that.
Got it.
Now, getting it back up, that's where you need somebody to come in that needs to be here to be able to do it. There's potential to do a little bit of that remote, but that's where on a daily basis, it's monitoring cybersecurity and also additional help. But unless we get something that causes our system to isolate it or shut down, then we don't always need that hands-on part, because we are protected. I mean, and we get all entities, if you have CrowdStrike, you'll see what happens. We get the emails regularly on any kind of phishing that tries to come into our system, anything that comes in, and they get blocked out. So we get regular emails on that, and if there was something that did make its way in, they shut something down, yeah, it would be that department, that machine, getting them back up and running.
I think
But
that's something I'd like
protection is
to
there.
brag about as well, because we do get the notifications, and for the most part, with us pretty available, we're right there to stop it. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff that you see up in front of you, but then there's a lot of the behind the scenes that we don't see. We don't kind of brag about it because we have stopped phishing attempts, we have stopped, we've quarantined machines, and then like Michael said, we have to be at the device to get it back up online. Depending what department that is, that could cost us revenue, depending. I kind of looked up the statistics on that. For a municipality, ransomware or malware, the typical downtime is about 21 days, which can cost well over $100,000. And I think for us, investing in this position would kind of round out our department a little bit better, and it would just be about keeping our systems up and online, and we'd be readily available for whatever comes up. It's not a matter of if something's going to happen, it's a matter of when, because we do get them quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that was gonna be my question, was what's the price of not having one?
I've seen the price over, like I said, over $100,000, and I mean, I don't want to be here and say we don't have the systems or we don't have the hardware to prevent it, because we do have the personnel, but at the same time, we do need to keep up with updating systems. We have the upcoming migration for Windows 10 to 11, and I can tell you, when I started here, I noticed a lot of our systems were outdated.
Yeah.
And when we had our CGIS audit, I had to go and update a lot of these computers, and the CPUs are so old that we have to purchase new computers. So, I mean, yes, you can run the system, but then it's so, depending on the CPU or the OS that it has, it's can put a strain on the PC itself. So then somebody will call us, say, my PC's going really slow, and that's going to lead to bigger issues for us because, oh, we noticed the hard drive's failing or the SSD or, parts of the computer. So we do have to, I mean, and that's the one thing, like, I know I said 400 tickets, that might not seem like a lot, but for us, a 5-minute ticket can and has led to like 35 an hour, 2 hours, sometimes all day. So,
It's kind of the small things that are bogging you down right now. So-
yeah, little things.
Okay. Well, that's, take it to heart, and, you know, Michael and Dave can go back.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
guys
And we
sit
do,
down
yeah, we do as best as we
circle back
can.
to that.
I mean, Matthew's great, but we have our plates pretty full, and I'd like to entertain that, bringing somebody else to help us
Okay.
with that.
Appreciate all you do, Hector.
Hey,
Mr. Garza, question.
No, it's all right. Quick question. I don't know if this would apply to this, but have you or Matthew dabbled in a little bit of AI and seen how maybe that might help
Yes,
us?
as a matter of fact, me personally, I've dabbled in it. It does help with writing SOPs. It gives us a template, but as far as tailoring it for the city's needs, that's where the part comes in. And this is where I like to get Michael involved, or our higher ups involved, or the department heads, depending on who it's for. I like to get them involved and kind of get their input on it. Like I said, very basic template, but it has helped. So.
Or wherever you can. I mean, it's the future, so.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And everything's changing. And even for us, I'm constantly having to look up community threads, and there's always new trends. Everything's evolving so fast. And we had this conference we used to go to, TAG ITM, where we would meet with other municipal managers, and we would kind of tell them, hey, this is the issue that we're seeing. Have you ever? And sure enough, there's always somebody that says, yes, this is what we did to fix it. We purchased this, or this helped us. And so for me, it's great networking. And I still have a lot of the cards that I call them, like, hey, we're looking to get new body cam. I'm just using as an example, body cams. What do y'all use? And we'll just kind of go from there and just shoot ideas off of each other. So it's fun, but yeah, it's a lot to maintain for us.
Any further questions, guys?
No, thank you.
One more thing, I did forget, when you brought up the migration we did put in about 20,000 for new computers so that we can get rid of some of the older ones.
Yes.
I forgot about that,
So
sorry.
we do have, like I said, we have old computers, and sometimes, more often than not, we have to purchase a new one to get that OS working properly onto it. We also, what I've noticed is we've had switches in each department fail on us. So somebody will call us and say, my internet's not working. We'll run out there, and sure enough, their entire switch is just shot. It's done. So those cost roughly around $1,000. So I wanted to budget for each department, kind of go out there and see what they had, and just get new ones. And then it would help us with the configuration for us, and we're able to log in and also close out each port, because before in the past we've had somebody hook something up to it, and it'll start handing out new IP addresses. They can't access the system, and just does a network loop. So for us, it'll be easier to maintain. Like, they can just call us. And
Excuse me, Vanessa, so that increase, is it with each department for the computers, or is it here? Or?
I put it here, I don't know if you noticed,
Page
there's a
26.
division, we put citywide supplies, so it's like they can purchase it and they can distribute it to whatever department they need. It's on page 26 towards the bottom.
What line item?
The 21,912, that's for.
Minor information tech equipment.
It's 21025.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
That's for any computers or any other supplies they may need.
And the 21,000?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. Well, Hector, I appreciate all your
Yes,
efforts.
thank
I
you for
appreciate
all the
stretching
support
out
and your time.
Helping us out.
yes, I appreciate it. Yep,
And I
thank
appreciate
you.
you voicing your opinion too.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Before we proceed, I want to recognize and acknowledge Councilman Beltran.
Oh, yes.
Good
Okay.
morning. Good morning.
Okay.
Also, just while we're at that, when we're spread, there was some COVID and flus going around, and that's why this format's a little different. We spread everybody out to try to be a little safer, and so just for
Appreciate that.
everybody that's watching also, that's why we're spread out differently today. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Okay.
Okay, next we have the Human Resource Department. This department did cut back a little bit on their subscriptions and background checks. But other than that, their department pretty much stayed in line.
I've got a question. When you say subscriptions, what do you mean by subscriptions in this department?
I'll let Melissa. I'm not sure what subscriptions they purchased. Or I don't know which one.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
Renee's off today, so we did meet yesterday, just in case you guys had any questions. So subscriptions is pretty much that amount is her Applicant Pro. So Applicant Pro is our online application system for new employees. So of course, everything, we're all paperless. If anybody wants to look for a job, everything is on the city website. Plus, they get to log in Applicant Pro, and it's really seamless, it's really easy. So that whole amount there is pretty much for that. And it's been working well. We've had it for a few years, Applicant Pro. That's pretty much.
Great,
Okay, great.
thank you.
Any other questions?
We're good.
Okay. Next, we have the fire department. This department, we did have some increases in the, we did increase their overtime and their vehicle repairs. Another thing I wanted to note is on their salaries. This does include an additional $75,000 for the holiday buyback, but this would be the last year that they have to use that.
Can you explain that to me? What do you mean live?
Or which one? I'm sorry.
The buyback?
The holiday. So when they work a holiday, they accrue holiday hours that they, most employees can get that when they leave.
Oh,
But on their agreement, I think they were given 5 years to kind of cash that out.
Oh.
And they were given $75,000 for 5 years. So they have an application.
So they'll submit an email asking to buy back, and the cap is 75,000.
oh, that, okay, now I
Yes.
know what it is. Yes, okay.
So they don't all use it, but some of them do.
Yes,
Got
not
it.
everybody.
And this is the last year out of the 5 years, okay. Thank you.
Bless you.
Any questions?
Did we budget any money for repairs to the actual fire stations themselves?
That's facility repair. So if you look under supplies and services where it says facility repair / maintenance supplies, and then further down, same thing, but services, that's basically the allotment we give them for supplies would be if they're buying something and fixing it themselves. Services would be if they outsource it, they brought in
Like a plumber,
a contractor or
yeah.
somebody to do some work.
40,000?
And what's the status on the facility at our old armory?
Patrick?
What was the question?
The status of the new move?
Oh, to the new building? So we've run into some situations out there with the roof, and so we're trying to work our way through that.
Oh,
There's
goodness.
some major roof leaks that, we've had a couple different repair people go out there to try to fix them, and we haven't been able to be successful with fixing it, so that's pretty much where we're at.
Did we complete the fencing?
Fencing,
Issue?
the first part of the fencing's complete. The rest of the fencing, we kind of put that off a little bit. We're trying to, keep costs down as much as we can because
course.
we had some other things that were popping up. So the back fence, we kind of held off on that. Right now, I don't see a need for that at the moment. At first, it was a security issue, but we've got some plans in the future with some grants that we're waiting on that I think we can kind of push that off a little bit and hold and wait till we get that done. But yeah, but for the most part, they are doing some electrical work. We are having a couple little electrical issues that popped up as well. So we have to kind of, there's some things that we were putting off to the very end that were needed, but not as needed, more like an electrical issue or a roof leak or something like that. So we're trying to tackle all those things first, but it's just been a very complicated process.
So are your funds depleted that we allotted?
We're still, I was letting them kind of get through budget because
Okay.
they were really, they're shorthanded, and me and Gabriel had some conversations, and then I just kind of quit bugging them about it because I knew they were working on this stuff. So I was kind of waiting for them to get past this, and then we could revisit and see where we're at and
Okay.
what we need to do next and what our next steps are.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hey,
Jeff.
Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Molina.
Okay.
Okay, next Next, we have the municipal court department. No change really. There was a slight decrease. This was, we have some copiers that will be paid off, I believe by December. So there was a decrease on that line item. But other than that, the department is pretty much the same. Any other questions?
We're good.
Next, we have the police department. And on the function sheet, we did change it up a little bit this year. So we did include every officer, every records clerk, every dispatcher. We combined admin, support services, CID, patrol and traffic, cadet, all the divisions, we just put it all in one function sheet. And we did this mainly for the officers, and this was to give the chief more control to move the personnel and manage his divisions more efficiently and move them around, you know. On page 35, this is the police administration department, and there was a slight increase in this department, and it was for their subscriptions.
Okay, any questions?
Is there going to be change on the wearing apparel? I know we.
So the wearing apparel, are you comparing the revised to the proposed?
Yes.
I believe what happened there was some of the uniforms they were purchasing, I believe some of it was hitting administration, and it really should have maybe gone to like patrol and traffic or CID, and it was just coded to administration.
Excuse me.
Okay, any other questions?
It was just a lot to be for just the chief.
Yeah, because admin is just chief, so that's that number.
So what we did for the post is we put it in the department really that it should be in. Mhm.
You know, I have a question, right? I'm curious, on your dispatchers, are they getting paid the going rate? I mean, what are they getting paid?
So that's something that we visited with. We did make on our new proposal for the coming year, on the new budget, to try to see what we could do to increase their pay. As you know, dispatch is a job that it takes a lot, takes a toll on them, and I think we're at the bottom end in the area as what we pay. So we're just trying to even out with all the others, with other cities, other counties, and what they're paying. So we did make a proposal. I haven't seen any.
It's in there, chief.
It's in there also.
It's in there.
So we're trying hard to get to a point. We're not asking to be top pay. We're just right in the middle and be competitive.
Okay.
And give them and I have met with Michael. I've met with Gabriel.
okay.
And yes, ma'am. No, we put a proposal together, and so it's been good for us.
I know I'm always advocating for your officers, but your dispatch as well, you know, I just was thinking about them, you know, how much, you know, I always look, what is Corpus is paying for their officers in Kingsville and other areas, but our dispatchers, we need to look out for them too.
He knows about the House bill. The county, how there was money put in.
So
Oh, yeah.
there was money.
Or left out.
Yes, sir. So there was House Bill 22 that came out, and naturally it helped the counties, and it helped sheriff's departments, not municipalities.
Oh, okay.
So they were able to give their officers an increase, right? And by law, it was passed that they had to reach a certain threshold, so you had to have a minimum of 45,000, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was 45,000, no less, right? And so the state subsidized them to cover any expenses over. So if their starting pay was 40, the state gave them that additional 5,000. But, so say, for example, I think they qualified for $350,000 that was awarded to them, like Jim Wells did. So they were able to give their dispatchers a raise and put them at $19.20, when our dispatchers make $13.40, right about Councilman, right? That's what they start off with. What we're proposing is $17.21, to start at $17.21.
Okay.
And so that's where we're at. I think Duval is, I think, at $17.50, $18, somewhere around that area. I did put the sheet
Yeah.
of what all the agencies in the area are paying, and we're one of the lowest. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What is Kingsville paying?
21, I think 21 or 22. I think they start you off at 17 the first year, and then it goes on after that. I think goes up to $20 an hour, 21 an hour.
So I'm sure you'll be working on the next House bill to propose.
So we've started this since last year, and where it's at, I don't know right now, but we're trying to see if the state will help us at some point to subsidize and to help us give those salary increases that are so deserving to our police officers and to our dispatchers, and put us at an even par, right? And as you know, a lot of agencies are losing to federal agencies because they're paying so much more.
Exactly.
And I know we can't compete with that. But fortunately for us, we haven't hit that road yet, where we're losing people at a high rate. We've been able to sustain what we currently have within our city, within our department. We have, by January, we will be fully staffed, which we haven't been in some time, but we will be 100% fully staffed. So, because we have the cadets in the academy, so we're looking forward to that. But other than that, it's all our wishes to get as much money as we can for our officers, to get them the highest paid that we can, our dispatchers. And that's why I always encourage you, because it's hard when you're sitting here and you actually don't sit at a dispatch office to see what they go through on a daily basis. And that's why I always encourage you to stop by and visit all the calls that they take, from 911 calls to just a regular civilian calling to report, a cat loose or a dog loose.
Right.
They deal with so much, and so we're always looking for fair compensation for them. But we also know that we have our limits within our city. We understand that. But we're always trying, and it doesn't hurt to try each and every day to try to be equal with everyone else.
Well, I always say they're the calm voice in the raging storm.
I have great dispatchers. We do. They're my coworkers. We work well together. Right now, we have a great group of individuals, and I know it's tough with what they're getting paid. I know that, and I have to express that in behalf of them, that it's hard at what they're. They have daycare, they have groceries, and some of them are single parents. And they're having to raise their kids, and at $13, it's tough. At one point it was pretty much when you can go to, work at a restaurant for $14, $15 an hour, right? So those are tough things to look at. But, we're trying, and our city's helping us and trying to do the best that we can, because we know we have so many expenditures. We know that, we've fallen behind in the city as a whole, right? It's difficult, the times we're facing, but we're trying, and we keep trying. But I do thank you for bringing that up, because they are dear to us, and we tend to forget who our dispatchers are. I can tell you I haven't forgotten who our dispatchers are.
I know you
think about them every day, and I think that they surely deserve what they.
And how many dispatchers do we have?
We're 7.
7, okay. Well, thank you, Chief. I appreciate your.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Say, Chief, real quickly, now that you got your soapbox there, any other things that are kind of bugging you right now that you got on your mind that might be kind of in the wheelhouse?
This city's been good to us. I know we always go over our overtime, but I'd always go refer back to our crime rate and what what you see
Right.
each and every day. So I think that speaks for itself. But again, I always do visit with our finance, and we talk about it. We talk about our overtime, and I see it. We spend a lot of overtime, and a lot of it is through grants, and a lot of it is through the city. But I always come back and look at what we've done as a city, as a whole, as a police department. One thing that I will bring to you is vehicles. I mean, we've had, since I've been here 4 years, March will be 5. And what I've seen is every piece of equipment, just about, we've got them through grants. And we've been very fortunate that we write our own grants within our department. And we've been very successful. On our next year's grant, we're going to get 2 more vehicles through a grant. We're getting more monies for overtime. But one thing to always consider is, what can we do to improve? Maybe new cars, new vehicles. Sometimes I've even talked to our city manager. I don't need new ones. I just need it could be used ones, and we can put them to work half the cost, because a brand new vehicle, fully equipped, is going to run us about $80,000, almost 100. But if I get a used one, I can cut it in half. I can get a used one, a good one, for about 20,000, maybe 15. 2016, like I just bought one, a 2016 for, I think I paid $13,000 with 70,000 miles. That's what we look for. And even though I paid $13,000, but 6 months later I had to put a transmission in it, that transmission cost me $2,000, I'm still ahead. Where if I bought a brand new one, I'd have to pay $80,000 for it.
Right, exactly.
So we're trying hard. So even if we were to consider giving us so much money so we can buy used vehicles, we can make it happen. We can make it work. There's some technology that we'd love to have. Again, wish lists, right? But really to say that there is something that's really bothering me, no. I mean, I know the collective bargaining agreements coming up between the city and the police officers. And I hope we take that into consideration, because they're well deserving also of what they need to be paid. But again, I know the finances that we're up against, but always to consider that. Those would be the only true things that I'm thinking about, is the pay for my officers and the pay for our dispatchers. That is it, sir. Other than that, I can make things happen with what we have, the grants that we currently have, and all the help that the city has done for us. Can't go... with technology, we have so many subscriptions. You're going to see, I think, over $100,000 on just subscriptions. We went to new body cams. Didn't cost the city anything. Our new, I think we probably, just this month alone, or last month, about $60,000, $50,000 on body cams. It was right about $50,000 in new body cams through grants. All our software that we have in our units, that was over another $50,000 that was through the White Ranches Foundation. All the little, if you go through the outskirts of town, there's LPRs. Mm-hmm. Those are through Lone Star at no cost. But everything does have subscriptions, right? So the city funds us for that. And so those are the things that we're aware of. But there's just so many expenditures on our end. And I wish that we could cut back a little bit more. But we're trying to keep up and keep the fighting going against this crime and work with what we currently have. But, I mean, I really don't have a complaint, sir, other than I thank this council and our city manager and our finance for all they do. Just some of the things I'm looking at is maybe getting new cars, not necessarily new, but money enough to get some cars.
Real quick question, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Throughout the year, is there a ballpark number that you bring in as grant money that is not being paid by us, but like a round number? It says, we've gotten so much money in grants this year. Is there a number that you can kind of put together?
Of course I can. I can tell you.
That says this how much money we didn't have to pay, how much money we've gotten in grants.
So in the last 4 years, easily at $1 million. Right,
$1 million.
because every grant that we bring in is like $700,000. Then we have Border Star, which is 20-some, Stone Garden, which is $24,000, Border Star, which is $100,000, and then any other little grant that comes along the way. We recently got STEP. So say, for example, right, roughly about $1 million is what we bring in as a whole.
So one of the concerns that we always hear about, why don't they apply for a grant for that?
No, we do.
Well, we do.
Every equipment, and it's not a knock on the city, because we know what the city works with, but every piece of equipment since I've been here has come through grants, via grants. And those are grants that we've written, the city manager has reviewed them, he's helped us, and at no cost, that way you have, those monies can be used at streets and at other areas of the city so they can buy the equipment that they need. You imagine all this equipment that we currently have, if the city had to purchase it, that'd be lots of money, right? I mean, I'm
Right.
talking several $100,000. But we've received everything that we have via grants. Our body cams, our cameras in our units, the new cars that we got, all the screens, the tablets, the phone, everything is through grants, by grants. Yes, sir.
Very nice.
And so I can estimate easily over $1 million per year that we
Per year?
Per year. I'm not saying not 4 years. I'm saying every year easily about $1 million,
They're pulling their weight.
give or take.
No, for sure. No, I just wanted to make that clear.
Yes, sir.
No, of course,
And
fully
if
aware
you
of
go
it.
back to every meeting that we have, I always address to you the meetings where we bring the grants. We address how much each grant is, and we do a presentation. And sometimes we forget, we don't add them up. I'm that person. But I always know the numbers when it comes to our department. I can give you the data, our crime data. I can give you how much money we spent, how much money we spent in overtime. I can tell you how much money we brought in on grants. So those are some of the things that we do look at. We're always here. We're team players as a city, as a police department, but everything that we have currently is by grants.
I think it's very important to show to our constituents, the efforts that you're doing, that every department does. That says like, we're making cuts, but we're also getting grants, and this is how much grant money we've got this year. I think it's very important for that to be known in the public.
The technology that we currently have is second to none. I mean, we have good technology, great equipment. We recently just received an armored vehicle. That armored vehicle itself, we got it by grant. That's $1 million armored vehicle, that we got, no cost to the city. Got it through grant. All our equipment in our vehicles. There's so many things that I can give you a list, and I'll be more than glad to break it down by year of how much we get and share it with you. That way you can review it. And that way when you're asked questions, you can show them. I can talk about it, but the taste of the pudding is in the eating, right? So I'd love to share it with you, and that way you have it.
Good pudding.
Yes, sir.
That's what
It's
pudding.
good pudding, good taste.
Chocolate.
Chief, and I thank you very much for all the work you've done. I mean, $1 million a year with grants coming in. The citizens can't thank you enough for it. I'd like to throw that out there again, that you were bringing at least $1 million a year in grants. That saves the taxpayers a lot of money. Very smart idea about purchasing used vehicles. Like you said, you're buying it at half price. Even if you got to put a new engine transmission, it's about $8,000. But then it comes with a 3-year unlimited life warranty or mileage warranty. So that's working smarter with your money and not harder. And I know that one of your plans was to eventually get officers to take units home. How are you doing on that? I've noticed there's an officer that lives close to where I live, and I've been seeing his unit there at the house more often. And I know that when they do that, it tends to bring down crime in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. So how are you doing on that? And I guess how many more vehicles do you see yourself needing to say that we're up to date on vehicles?
So currently our units, we still operate in 2013 units and some of our older units. And believe me, my officers love them, right? But we're operating 2013 units. But if you're here for a certain amount of time, and I believe that is 5 years, after 5 years, you get to take a unit home. And but we're trying to change that to give every officer the opportunity to take one home, because we notice it becomes a deterrent, right, in our neighborhoods. Our units are there, and people are, well, police live here, And so it's a deterrent, and it shows in the numbers. This month alone, we had 1 burglary of a habitation, we had 6 burglary of a buildings, which was a little high for me, and 2 burglary of vehicles. Those numbers are unheard of. I mean, I was at another neighboring city where they called us if we could help them. They're smaller than us, and they're about 6,000. They're averaging 10 to 15 home burglaries per month. We're averaging 2. That says a lot of this community. It says a lot about your police department. So they work hard. I always tell you, I wish I could take credit for it, but I have no credit for it. It's all the men and women that walk those streets every day. So kudos to them. But we're trying to get everybody units. If we could replace 5, or even if we could place 2 a year, even with used vehicles, that's fine. I mean, I'm happy with that.
Excuse me, Michael, what happened to that lease agreement we had years back? Remember, like, how was that going?
With Enterprise?
Yeah.
We're still running through that. We're working with them right now to see. We're at the tail end. A couple of his units are coming off. So we're working through that right now.
Right. I know years back, I remember which budget it was.
I remember
years
that.
back.
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
2019 units.
2019.
that they
That was in
currently
2019.
have.
Right.
My first
Yes,
We're gonna re-up that, or?
That's what we're looking into to see, because like he mentioned, the cost of these new ones, it's,
Oh, yeah, it's.
Just a lot of money.
It's a lot.
Ridiculous. They're not worth that much, sorry. I mean,
No.
Is there any money budgeted for vehicles or used vehicles or equipment here?
no.
No.
Okay.
No.
Sometimes he does, Chief is really good about getting those forfeiture funds and where he'll find the money for those needs. And it takes it off the weight of the general fund when he's able to do
Okay.
it.
So what we've done, for example, we got 2 new cars on our next budget.
Okay.
And one of the cars is we got a grant for $52,000 for 1 vehicle. However, I'm looking at, and I've already put it in motion to buy 2 Ford Mavericks for our CID division. For our CID division, for $50,000, I can get 2, and I've spoke to our local because they're buy board, and they can get us. I told them what I had to spend, and so we can get 2 vehicles for 1.
Wow.
Price of 1. So that's what we're gonna do. We don't need anything that's gonna go fast. We just need something that's reliable and it's gonna get us there.
Got it.
And economical. I think it's 45 miles a gallon because it's a hybrid. So those are what things we're looking at. I talked to Mike about it, and I showed him, and he was, so there was 2 motorcycles, right? And we're looking at motorcycles, they're electric. And we Harley Davidson came down, and they came from San Antonio to show us, and it's called a live wire, and each one is $20,000. It doesn't use gas, it's electric. And I thought it'd be truly awesome to have motorcycles in our city. And Mike says, "Yeah, let's get them." I said, "Well, you gonna give me the money?"
Are you talking about
So,
like a moped?
you can find something.
No,
You can find
motorcycles.
something. So
They're not me.
we are looking for a grant. I'm looking for a grant, and I know my lieutenant's looking for a grant. And I will get them when I have that determination to get something. We get it. And but again, we all have a wish list, but we also know what what we truly need, right? And so even if it's used vehicles at a discounted price, because I can get you a good unit for about $12,000 to $15,000. It goes. I mean, we're running 2013s, 2010s. I did give the airport a brand new car. I know that. And we're always looking to see what we can get.
Need to bring back the bicycle also.
And it's too hot, man.
Yeah.
We need trucks.
We need trucks.
We need trucks.
We need trucks.
Definitely.
But yeah, I hope I answered your questions.
Sure.
I mean,
Yes.
do I have a wish list? Of course, sir. There's a lot of things that I do need. There's a lot on my mind. The only true thing that's on my mind is the officers getting paid what they truly deserve, and our dispatchers getting paid what they
Yes.
truly deserve.
Got it.
Very
Well, I mean,
good.
we're a council, I know I could say this, but we're a council of funding the police, we're a council
Yes,
that's
definitely.
pro-law, and we want to give you everything you need, and now we are, need over want, obviously. I mean, I would, probably love to have a bunch of electric motorcycles all over the place, saving us money, but, that's not practical sometimes, I understand. But you know, it's nice that you come up here and talk and give us a little comedic relief as well, but for people can see, you know, the real side of our directors, you know, that we are frugal and we are like, you know, conscientious of being good stewards, and, you know, like, how many people come and talk about, you know, getting a vehicle half off or half price, and then, you know, then the funny thing, you know, you end up having problems with your transmission, and then you know, it's just, most people just want a blank check and give me it, and, you know what I mean, but unfortunately, we're not that community any longer, right? I guess at one time, we were really thriving way before my time, but,
So,
Right.
I think, you know, again, the Wyatt Ranches Foundation, we got a total of 5 cars, 6 cars,
Yes.
units. The other vehicles, we bought them through forfeiture fund. We bought them through, but we bought those used, and they've worked for us. I mean,
Right.
we have to realize that we have to be honest about what we can afford. And if we can't afford it, then we have to do
Right.
what's best for us, and that's get whatever we can.
How many vehicles at the Wyatts?
I think it's a
Ranches,
total of 7, because animal control, we also utilize.
Thank you to the Wyatts, yeah.
Oh, no, they've been great.
Thank you,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, good.
But you were also smart about that, because they gave you money to purchase like 2 vehicles or 3, and you were able to manipulate it where you were getting 3 or 4 or something like that too, right?
Well, at the first
So-
3 years, it's
Wait, wait.
hard. After the 4th one, it gets difficult, because now we have to worry about how we're gonna make that payment.
Gotcha.
Right.
Right? But we've been very fortunate, the council, our finance has done wonders. We had a little bit of money left over, so we've been able to use that monies to help for this coming year. And then we do have some monies from our tasers that are coming off the books, I think for 40,000, so that could maybe use some of that money to help offset the cost of, so I think we have 1 more year, this year and the next year, to pay off our cars. But for the most part, that's where we're at. And again, I'm not asking for new cars. I'm looking to maybe get some older model vehicles in place to replace our aging fleet. Because we still operate 2013s, 2014s, and get them off the road. And honestly, our Ford Explorers, we haven't seen a lot of problems with them. We haven't had a lot of problems with them. We have a lot of problems with our Chevy Tahoes because they're so big, and there's just, it's not, I'm just giving my thoughts on that. It's not made for our city. It's not made for cities, it's made for highways. So we're looking to get smaller vehicles, which are like Ford Explorers, that we're having less problems with, and save us money.
You know, Chief, considering, like they said again earlier, you're helping us save $1 million by getting us grants per year. I guess throwing you a couple of $15,000 for an extra vehicle and making sure your men are getting paid what they deserve, you're not asking too much.
Well, we're not, right? And I do thank you, sir. I know that we all have a vested interest in this community and within our department, and I can tell you right now, I can do without any equipment. I'll always find a way to get equipment. I promise you that.
Gabriel, excuse me, when is that coming up, that lease, or for the vehicles?
The enterprise for the 2019 is within, what, September, October?
And it was
They're
4
out.
Tahoes.
It was 4 Tahoe.
Okay, so we're getting 4?
No, that lease ends, and so
Ends.
Huh.
it ends in
So
September.
we're gonna
October.
renegotiate with that?
Right.
It's gonna come up here?
Correct.
Got it.
Now, would you prefer to do that again, or just purchase used vehicles or something?
Again, I have to look at our budget. I'd have to sit with our city manager and go over what is best for our city. But going back to your question, I would rather have the monies for our officers than to have any equipment.
Gotcha.
Got it.
That would be my,
Perfect. You said a lot there. Thank you.
yes, sir.
And we could attest to it. I mean, Chief works wonders. He finds money all over the place. So we appreciate Chief.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, you make,
Bloodhound knows.
you make us look good, you know, and you make our job easier, you know, not so much for those folks. But I appreciate it. Any further questions?
I think, first I want to thank you for everything you do, your officers, and all the money that you get for us. And as me as a councilman, I always want to give as much as I can.
Of course.
There's only so much money in
Of
this,
course.
and it has to be distributed. And if there was more, obviously, the more we distribute. But we'll work with what we have, and we promise we'll give you the most we can with what we have.
you know, all we ask is a chance, right? An
That's it.
opportunity. And if there's
Absolutely.
no money, I understand that. But if we can look at it and say, you know,
Yeah.
we can do so much, then I understand, you know, and we do it every day.
Yeah.
I mean, with this council, and with our city manager, with our finance, we're always trying to find ways on how we can improve. And unfortunately, we just haven't had the monies. But it doesn't stop, and it shouldn't stop me as a director of my department to continue to try each
Absolutely.
and every day.
Right,
And be an advocate for our officers, because
Yeah.
that's what you paid me to do.
Exactly.
right.
Right.
Yes.
And that's.
And just to, I apologize to circle back, but Chief, it's also bled into Patrick Thomas. I mean, he's now on Lone Star. He's pulling grants on that. So just to circle back, I mean, both our chiefs are, they're finding ways with what we can do. So he's bought some equipment, I believe. And they also worked on the grant for De La Cruz. I don't know if y'all want to talk to that, but for
Yeah, y'all
the public safety. So I
collaborated
mean, our
very
chiefs
well.
are stepping up for the community.
So we did, one of and I'm sure Patrick will talk on his behalf on the De La Cruz grant, but our grant is for $500,000. And that grant is to remodel our police department and our CID department.
Yes.
Both buildings. You know, we want to put good equipment, make it nice. You know, with our last grant, I still have $37,000 left. So I'm trying to fix the offices a little at a time. But there's the patrol division side that with this grant, if it goes through, and it looks like it, but we just have our fingers crossed, we want to redo all of the patrol division with new computers and a new office and a new setting for them. And then our CID division, we want to make an interrogation room or an interview room. Interrogation is not the right word. Interview room, waterboarding and all that. So do an interview room and do a training facility. And those are the thoughts that we have on how we can improve. You know, that's where we're at. So on that grant, our grant is to improve the infrastructure within our police department. And we've applied for it. Desiree helped us on that grant, and so helped us write that grant for the police department. And so I want to thank her for doing that.
And what grant was this again?
It's through Monica de la Cruz's office.
Okay.
And it's
Community development.
community. I know that we qualified for so much, so we put in for $500,000 for
When did
$500,000
you apply for this? one?
last year.
Last year?
Yes, sir. It was last year, so it made it out of 114 or 115 grants. Ours went through. They picked 14 or 15, and ours was one of them that went
So
through.
grants sometimes take a year or.
Oh, yeah, if not
Well,
more.
just
Oh,
3 years,
yeah.
like 3 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I
Yes,
want
sir.
to make that clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
grants take time sometimes.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get awarded a grant, and it may be 2 years before anything shows up,
Right.
or even 2 years to when they allow you to start.
So that you get awarded.
And most of those you have to technically kind of apply for the funds after you get awarded the funds,
So-
and then starts the process.
So you apply for a grant, you get it, and you don't get it tomorrow or the
No.
next day. Yeah.
It's a process.
I'm making very clear that
No,
it takes time.
And also understand that there's so much competition for these grants.
Right.
But Alice has been very fortunate that we've had luck in getting these grants. I'm not going to say luck, because we've had great people writing these grants for us. People that know what it takes what our responsibilities, what we need as a city. And when you write a grant, you're just not doing it as a professional because that's your job. Our people are doing it because we live here and we have a vested interest in what goes on. And so they know what our needs are and they know what their love of their community is. So they're the ones that are writing this for us. Whether it's Desiree now, to Lieutenant Sines, to myself, because I do write some of them, we have a vested interest in this. And so all of that is important. And so I give them their props because they've done a great job. And I think that's the difference between hiring a professional from the outside that could put a grant together to having your own people write their own grants, because we know what we need, we know what our community deserves, and so we do it and we put it together, what's best for our community. So I think that's a big difference, so thank them for that.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Any other questions?
Yeah, that was it. I know people always say, is there a grant for that? Of course there is. But you said there's a lot of what?
That's a question.
There's a lot of competition.
Grant for that.
I mean, there's a lot of competition for everything, but we've been very fortunate that the grants that we've written, we have been successful. And I know, and some of it is our fault, maybe we made a mistake about it, that we don't go out and publish it, you know, and maybe we should do more of it. But, you know, our job is our job. We're meat and potato county department. We do the job. Our job is to fight crime, take crime off that street, to investigate the matters. Do we do a good job? Great job. Sometimes do we fall short? Sometimes we do. But it's my job to make sure that we're aligned. So all the glory and all the praise go to all the officers. Anytime that there's something that goes wrong, then it's my fault. And I take the responsibility for that. But as a whole, great department. Thank you to the council. Thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you to the city manager for all he does in our finance, because they do a lot. And they have, I know what their limitations are, and they tend to work with us. So again, all these grants are great. There's a lot of competition, but we've been very fortunate that we've been able to get the monies that we are. We're here for the long haul. We're here to stay, and we're here to make this department great. We really are.
Appreciate it.
I want to add something to that, just because I like what he said about grant. You don't just get the grant and you get the money tomorrow. We've got grants that we've been awarded that we're still waiting on funding to come to make it happen. But some of these, and finance will attest to, they're reimbursement grants. So we've got to be real careful when we're doing our budgets. The money has to be, we have to spend the money before they'll reimburse us that money. So the money has to already be here. These girls and Gabriel can kind of tell you that. So we've got to be real careful how we manage the grants too. So there's getting the grant, sometimes that's the easier part. It's managing it afterwards and keeping up with all the reports that have to get done afterwards too. So, and that's where Desiree and the finance department, they do a good job of helping us with that. So, just wanted to add that in there.
Thank you. Just real quick, also, our next grant that we just received, our radios, we just spent $450,000 on new portable radios for the police department and the fire department. Not out of city monies, out of grants. Now we're buying. We haven't had a new system in our department since maybe 2000?
So it's been about 20 years.
About 20 years, so we're updating our system.
Yes.
And it just takes time, but we're looking at hopefully September, maybe when the mod money comes in, and so we could start the purchase. And so hopefully by January of 2027, we'll have a whole new system in our police department at $500,000, again, at no cost to the city. So $1 million basically for a whole new system with portables for our fire, for our police, and at no cost to our city.
That's amazing.
I wanted to share that.
Deal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Chief. Thank you so much.
And if,
I rest my
if our
case.
council members have not gone to visit the PD lately, y'all need to go see the improvements they made. I know there's still more work to be done, but I've gone by. It's really, really nice.
I've taken my tour.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, I took my tour, yeah.
You know, and also I just wanted to throw out here, we do receive a lot of grants. We all do a lot of great work with the grants and all that. But I also wanted to thank the Congresswoman, Monica De La Cruz, because she does fight for us a lot there in Washington. Her people and they answer my phone every time I call. And they're always willing to bend over backwards. And I know that we still have some grants that have been moved into the appropriation fund. So we still have more grants out there that we're looking to get. So thank you again, like I said, to both of the chiefs, to our finance people for keeping up with all the work. And a big thank you to Congresswoman Monica De La Cruz and all of her people for all the work that they do for us in our community here.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it. Okay, we're ready.
I think the chief kind of touched on all his divisions, so I think we're pretty
Yeah.
good with police department.
Okay.
Just getting started.
He did a very good job. We, next on page 44, we have the Humane Department. This department did have an increase from prior year. One of the items was fuel, but they are trying to be out there more, so they are, of course, using more fuel. The other is the animal care and veterinary services. We did increase that one too, just based on what's being spent out there.
There's just 2 staff out there right now?
I'm sorry.
There's just 2 employees?
Yes, yes, sir.
Do we need somebody else out there, Michael?
I think we need to speak.
You had to ask.
I'm
I think
sorry.
it's more of space.
Yeah.
Say it again, it's what?
I think Chief will talk to this better
Chief?
than I will, but I think it's more the space. It's because that's what we run into is where it's, and I don't want to misspeak for Chief, but I think that from what I understand.
Space?
For humane, do you need
one
another
person.
staff member or do you need more space because of, I know you've really hit it.
I mean,
Or nothing.
he's busy, but.
Yeah.
So, the fear that we have by expanding our animal control is that we'll need more manpower to
Right.
run it. Because you have to have, one person can cover a certain amount of dogs. Right now, we've been busy at work, and they've done a great job. If we could have one more staff member, it would be awesome. I mean, in a perfect world, that would be. But for animal control, it's maybe by sprucing up what we have, maybe, for example, the heat. It's really bad on our dogs. It's just bad. And so we're trying to put more fans in there, maybe put some more ceiling fans. And we're trying, right now we ordered some paint for the roof, the tin roof. That way maybe it'll help cool it down a little bit. We need fans for because we have so many dogs. Maybe I'd love to sit down with our finance and our city manager and give you a true number of what we need. It's not a lot, but we do need monies to upgrade our facility.
Yes.
And not to expand it to carry more, because by then we'll need more people, but to upgrade what we currently have. Yes. I mean, we have our trucks. One of the brand new trucks we have is through the White Ranches.
Right.
And we have 3 trucks, and we had 4. I gave one to the Metro, and so he's put it to use. And so we have 3 that we utilize trucks. Our office, that old office, it's already torn up. It's been there for so many years.
Yes.
So at some point we need to upgrade. So I have been looking at pricing for portable buildings and trying to see what we could do to upgrade that. But that's where we're at right now. And I'd love to put some numbers together on that so we can revisit on.
Well,
I'm sure Gonzalez has done a really good job keeping everything clean out there, organizing it, and I was there last week. There's still space. It's not full with animals, but the animals are getting taken care of, and he cares for them pretty well and keeps everything pretty clean. So yeah, but it is quite a bit of work for one person.
It is, and thank you, sir, for all that you do for us. I did bring in a third party from the outside 2 weeks ago to give us an overview of where we're at. I'm to see where we're falling short. Give me ideas if I'm doing something wrong, because it falls on me. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me what I need to do to improve. So she was able to visit with us. She gave us a list of the things where we need to improve on, and what we're doing right. So one of it is we currently have a dumpster out there. So we had it dropped off yesterday. So we're going to pick up all the old trees and place it all in our dumpster, clean it out, fix our fences, things like that we can do ourselves. But we're always looking on ways to improve. We're never afraid to take advice from the outside. Bring in consultants to help us, and at no charge. They're free, but then they gave us dog food. We just recently got dog food. I know they made contact with another source out of San Antonio that they promised us a truckload. All we need is a gooseneck trailer and a truck, and they'll load us up with dog food for our animals. And so we're always looking, always reaching out. But again, the staff that's there, the animal control officer has done a great job. Anita's done a great job through the years of running it. Now I have Corporal Arispe. He'll be overseeing it now. And so I guess he'll be helping Anita, right? Anita will be in charge, but he'll be there to help her get through it. But, they've done a great job. But we're always looking at ways to upgrade our facility I'm not talking bringing in brand new, build a brand new facility. I'm talking about, looking at fans, looking at ways to cool our animals.
Chief, and actually, you came in after before the question was kind of presented, but my question was, like, are we staffed well enough, right? And the response was, we have an issue with space, so like, even if we hire somebody else to help out, it would still be a problem because we don't have room for the dogs. Is that what you're saying? Or
That's correct.
Capacity?
Because
Okay.
our facility can hold so many dogs. And I'll be honest with you, sir, sometimes we're over the limit because we have so many dogs in our city. And we picked them up, and then you also understand the county brings their dogs to our facility. So if we bring in more people, we bring in more dogs. So why spend the money on a third person when all you're going to tell them to do is just don't do your job? It doesn't make sense because there's only so many dogs that we can utilize or place in our kennels. And so I would say no for now because our two are good. I think we're doing good. We just need to upgrade our facility.
So do we get any like financial assistance from the county for this or no?
Yeah, that's what I was.
So they do pay us for the dogs that they bring in, they house, right? And off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you how much we charge, but we do. I know that in the past they've wanted to help us upgrade. I know I've met with Commissioner Gonzalez out of Benbolt, and he's been wanting to help us with some monies. The reason I also went to this third party is because she writes grants for animal shelters. So I wanted to start looking at a grant to upgrade our facility.
Okay.
Is there a way, city, I guess, within the city, to give the public an opportunity to help the pets, where they can contribute in some way, whether it's through food or whether it's through donations? I know that the pets are always a big soft spot for a lot of people. And if they knew how to help, they would. And if they can help, how can they help?
So we do get donations
Okay.
in the form of dog food, blankets during winter, fans. Our community is always willing to support, and I know Ms. Bowen always goes by and she talks about because naturally animals are close to her heart. So, but we do meet with our locals that do donate. And I will take responsibility. We could do a better job of reaching out to our community. I wanted to have health fairs so we can bring our animals out so people can, maybe look at them to adopt them. But I'm always afraid, what is the liability if we do that and they bite somebody or. So those are the things that I fear of. But I'm trying to find ways on how we can improve our animal control, and that's why we've gone out to this third party to see what we can do.
Yeah, we've always had the notion, I always hear, well, if I knew they needed help, I would have helped, but I didn't know because the way we deliver information out has not been maybe the best. But for one reason or another, but what I'm trying to say is we can amplify or promote or where people will know, if you want to contribute and help our local pets, this is how you can do it, and this is when you do it, or more awareness. So I would stress that we would have more awareness for our public to be able to know and guide them how they can contribute more.
So there's some things that I just want to clarify. So we do get a lot of donations for food.
Right.
And we've been very fortunate. My thing is not to get too much food and then it spoils or it goes to waste.
Right.
Or that you have rodents that are coming in because we only have so much capacity to store so much food. And so, but those are the things that we have to look at. When I talk about upgrading, it's making that bigger where we can store food in a shelter that's better for our concealment of our food. That's what I'm looking at. But as a whole, have we done a good job of promoting? I'm not going to say we, I'm going to say I. I haven't. I failed on that end. I need to do better. But those are things that I always look at and I'm always looking at how we can improve our animal, because we love our animals, I can tell you that. We've had dogs there, and I'm afraid for a year or two, that we shouldn't.
Yes.
But I guess that's why, we feel the way we feel, but I'm not here to place blame on anybody. That all falls on me. If it was something great, it falls on them. I've always said that. When it's bad, it falls on me. But I haven't done a good job of letting the public know what we need. But I can tell you, our streets we're trying hard to clean our streets of all these animals. I know there's monies that come in through PAC and through other organizations the organization here in town, ma'am. Ms.
Noah.
Noah, I mean, they help us a lot. PAC helps us a lot. Ms. Martinez in Corpus gives us a lot of food, and so it's been able to maintain what we currently have.
Say, Michael, excuse me, is there any way we could sit down with, say, Judge Trevino and some of these folks with the county and maybe, I don't know, just strike up a conversation about maybe an interlocal kind of agreement or some kind of deal where we both come to the table and kind of see what each has to offer and I mean.
I did that a couple years back, I guess in 2021 or something like that, 2022, when Sheriff Bueno was there, and talked about them hiring an extra help. That was the main thing, was for them to hire another officer to help you guys out there. And then Huicho reached out, and he wants to do something out there. He really wants to help. So we should do that. We
But
really
I'm
should.
talking about a total revamp,
Yeah,
we
we
have
have-
old
definitely.
antiquated,
Yeah,
old-
when we started with the interlocal agreement at the airport, which we just sent
Yeah.
to the county judge for their review. We're dealing with things every day, with the animal control shelter, with the levy. The levy's owned by the county. We maintain the parts that are within the city limits, but it's the county-owned levy, not a city-owned levy. And that takes maintenance all the time. We're mowing it. We're the ones dealing with the inspections with the Army Corps of Engineers. And so, that's one of the issues that we need to talk to them about as well. So there's several, yeah.
And I know that they might be privy to some property that they have somewhere that we might have, because I'm thinking simple. I'm thinking a pad, a covered pavilion, minimal amount of fencing, a wash down pad, whatever. Something enclosed. I drive by that place every day, and it's like, and it's been there forever. But just to think that it's up to capacity or beyond on a daily basis, and there's other people contributing, and we've had this discussion a lot of different times, right? But to say that, we'll just keep on putting a Band-Aid on it, when we have, Commissioner Gonzalez, he's actually my second cousin, so I'm real close with him. Maybe we can sit down and talk, and, Judge Trevino and I are like brothers. We could sit down and just have a meeting of the minds and say, hey, where can we meet to kind of find some kind of, I don't know.
Middle ground on it.
Right,
I know
to
that
help
the-
us, right? Because we're, yeah. What are we charging them for?
That's what I was.
We're getting about, I think we're budgeting roughly 6,500 from the county.
A month?
6,500?
A month?
No, a year.
For the year, yeah.
That's what we're
Yeah,
using.
it's not much.
Yeah, when I was there, I went
Yeah,
there
but we
last
need a lot-
week.
we need a lot.
There was a gentleman from outside the city limits who was trying to get some stray dogs that had been in this property and ended up having some puppies, and he had been trying to get them to go collect them, and he was able to. And so, there was 4, 6, so I think there was 5, 4 puppies, and then and the mama puppy, and then another stray dog that was around. So yeah, that was part of that 6,500 probably.
So I know the county is working on a grant, and I don't know how far along they are, or if it's become, something that it's going to happen. But they applied for $650,000 for a grant for a new facility out in the Commissioner Gonzalez precinct. But that's something you might want to visit with him before we visit. Before we start talking about some type of agreement, only because they may already be ahead of us on that. But if they're not, then we can always go back and sit down and
Work
visit.
together.
Well, even if they become their own entity out there,
Yes, sir.
well, then that frees us up a little bit, right? And then we can kind of focus on our own matters at the table. But I think that's something that should be up there, one of the priorities as far as like, in the scope of the, at least the next, I don't know, at least between now and the next budget hearing, I guess. I mean, next budget season, just that, because I know that we have some other things going on that might
I mean-
free up some cash, some extra money.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at, what we're trying to get done with about $5.5 million of property tax revenue. That doesn't cover combined police and fire. That's why we need the sales tax to make us whole. But, everything else, so police and fire is about 7.7 million that you went through here. Everything else, the other 20 departments that we're going through the rest is about 6.5 million. So you divide that by department in the general fund, that's 328,000 a department, just on average, with the 20 other departments. And so, yeah, we're trying to survive on property tax, doesn't cut it. That's why we need that sales tax. And so,
Like I said, we can come up here and have our own wish list, but, normally if it's, we're here to fix things that are broken, right? If it's broken, like when we asked you, hey, what are the things you're like, hey, look, this is my priority, the other things I can cope with and deal with and mitigate. But something like this, if we do have an issue where there's an overflow or we can't compete, we're not kind of where we need to be, well, then we need to be there, That's just my opinion. I don't mean to be kind of strong about it, but I just kind of.
Mr. Molina, I can promise you that that's why we're meeting with PAC or Ms. Martinez to see what she can do to help us put us in a direction and where we could start applying for grants to redo, because I know what our limitations are here as a city. So we're trying to figure things out as we go along, how we can improve, how we can get those monies. I had a meeting with her today to actually in Corpus at her facility, but I had the budget, so I set it for next week. And so I promise you, we are trying to find monies outside of the city that can help us and through grants too.
Let us know if you need any letters of support, or even from NOAA. I'm part of NOAA. I'm sure.
Because I
we'll be glad
understand,
to do that.
like Mr. Beltran talking about donations and stuff, but I've been here a few years and man, it just never ends. Those
Yeah.
poor dogs. I mean, I drove by a big house in Dairy Queen. There were 4 dogs, and they were all small with I guess the mother or whatever, and 5 or 6 o'clock, and I mean, it's like in the evening, and you feel sorry for them, right? But like somebody kind of failed those poor animals, and they're either gonna get run over or, they get picked up. They're probably, not gonna end up in a nice place. So.
We do try to find adoption agencies that'll take them, and we have a lot of them that leave to Colorado, and they do. I shouldn't say this, but in our facility at times we've had up to 54, 56 animals because we have made a push to pick up as many as we can. But it becomes unrealistic because we just don't have the manpower
our capacity,
it's beyond capacity.
Right.
And so if we add another individual, can you imagine the numbers that we would have? So it doesn't make.
Well, like I said, and I know Michael has got a lot on his plate as it is, but that's why we're talking about it,
Yes,
right?
right.
To kind of put where we need to stack it priority-wise and see where we have left over. 'Cause
But we are looking for a grant for a new facility or to upgrade. The only thing I will look at is maybe getting fans, a couple of ceiling fans,
Okay.
and a couple of other things that's not going to be cause a lot of harm to our budget, but maybe we can work that in and maybe $2,000 or $3,000 to get this going. That's what I'm honestly looking at. Yes, sir.
like what size of like?
How many fans do you need and what size?
So I was looking at, and they're called big ass fans.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I was looking at 2 of them, and they're about, $1,000, $1,500 a piece. And so those are the types of fans that we needed, because they need to be commercial, and they need to be able to push that air for the dogs. So that's what we're looking at, and we're looking at that type of price.
And this is just a crazy question, but like, how big of a footprint would you need? Let's say we could wish for the sky and just say, what footprint of like a pad would you need to put like a cinder block building that you could have air conditioned? Because, I mean, we're in South Texas, you know what I mean? And, everything, because, I mean, I worked at the monkey farm years ago, by the way, and all the primates were in cages, indoors, AC and all that, climate controlled. And they made all these facilities, now it's all modernized now, but they're that way, and everything just kind of, gets washed down off the concrete. But I'm just saying, like, how big of an area would you need? Because I know that's really small out there, but
It is.
double or whatever.
I think we could make something work, but if you would give me an opportunity, even if it's a wish list, to put something together and say, this is the size of building we need, with all the extras, with air conditioning and how many kennels we're gonna.
Right.
As compared, because we have 2 officers, this is how many we can house. I can put that together for you, and I can present it to you, and that way I give you accurate numbers, and you have something to look at.
Because at the end of the day, like you say, we're at capacity, so we can't take any more dogs. But it's like, you have to pick up those dogs, because that's why we're having more dogs, because they're out there all the time, and, but, I mean, you know this, right?
Yes, sir.
At our age and what we see and everything, so. But,
Yes, sir.
okay.
See, just a real quick curiosity question. Chief, how do you all handle exotic animals? And let me say, for example, I know that there was complaints on South Adams about a pig that was going into people's yards and tearing up their yards, and it turned out to be a lady's personal pig. It was her potbelly pig that she would let out to go use the restroom, and it'd go into the neighbors and eat up their garden, stuff like that. So, I guess, how, if you all got a call for a wild animal or an exotic animal like that, how do you handle that?
Well, so we talk to the owner, and we give them what the law is and what our city ordinance is, right? Now, we give them an opportunity to make it right. Now, if it continues, then we pick up the whatever exotic animal it may be, we house them, and they'll have to pay a fine. Sometimes we'll ask them to take it outside of the city, which they do. And sometimes they won't they'll give it up because it's a problem for them. So every case is different, but we do warn them, because we just don't want to go and pull their animal from them, right? Sure. So we give them a chance to make it right. Whether it's a fence that's down and they're getting out underneath the fence, please fix it. Or you're letting them out in front yard, please have better control over it. And if they don't, then we pick up the animal. And we charge them a small fee. But we do our best, sir.
Thank goodness Dr. Albert's still not alive and around here. For a lot of y'all that don't know, there used to be a doctor in town named Dr. Albert. He actually had alligators in his backyard. Those were his pets.
Wow. Crazy.
Glad I wasn't his neighbor.
But I'll work on that, sir.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I think we're ready to move on.
Okay.
What happened?
Thank you.
Okay, you ready?
Okay, next we have, our street maintenance department. With this department, we did increase, vehicle supplies, street and repair maintenance supplies, and vehicle maintenance, service. We also had an increase in the electricity. The electricity for this department, though, it does fund all the street lights.
Any questions?
No questions?
Did we budget anything extra for repairs? Like scheduled maintenance or some sort of,
On page 47, we have 150,000 for the supplies and the maintenance, right, kind of in the middle of the page.
Yes,
52,480.
Yeah,
yes,
52.
that's only up, what, 10,000 from last year?
yes.
Right.
How often is the zipper out work?
Joe?
Joe. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right,
Sorry.
Demetra's there. Do we only use it on big projects?
Hey, Joe.
Yeah,
Hi,
we're
Joe?
talking about the asphalt zipper and how often it's out there working.
Oh, we use it every other month. Right now, it's kind of broke down and needs some radiator repair, but right now, we're fixing on using it on Josephine Street and Triangle Street.
Okay.
Got it. So at least once a month y'all use it?
I mean, a new one, we're talking about budget, a new one costs $465,000.
Yeah.
Right. But ours is only what? It's gotta be less than 5 years old, right?
Well,
But it was
it's a
used.
2010.
Well, it was used when we bought it.
It was used, no,
when
Michael,
back
when we
in
got it?
2020?
The zipper was
2019?
used? when we
Yeah,
bought
it
it?
wouldn't-
I thought it was brand new.
it was brand new.
Really?
No.
The
Well,
zipper?
it's not brand new, it's used.
It was
Now.
used.
It was
I mean-
bought brand.
Oh,
I
we
mean,
bought it
it's kind of
brand new. We
expensive
purchased
to
it.
buy a new one, and we bought it used in good condition, and we've done quite a few streets.
Okay.
Do we have a maintenance agreement on that one when we bought it? I mean, is it over?
It was used?
We don't have a maintenance agreement.
I'm sure it was.
We get it repaired when it
it
needs
was
to get
under
repaired.
14.
It's like the old
And-
police cars, we're buying used stuff and trying to keep the price low and trying to do a lot of work.
We are doing streets with it. I mean, in the past, there's a list of streets we've used it on. Actually, some have used it, and some we've just done some double seal coating or single seal coating. Island's one of them. Hickey, Hub, Finley Street, and Houston. Working on Triangle right now. Part of Houston, and we did part of King. Part of King was a grant, but the other part of King was funds from last year's funds. All those streets were from prior year's funds, and we're finishing up with Triangle, and from Triangle we're going to where?
We're doing Triangle and Josephine.
Josephine.
About 2,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's a well-traveled street
Got it.
from Stadium all the way to Sunset.
Okay,
Wow.
that's good.
Nice.
That's good. Keep that up.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Joe.
Fix that radiator.
It'll get done.
Any other questions for the street department?
Oh, we're good.
Good.
Okay, next we have the garage department. You will notice a decrease in the salaries, but the director is working with the administration to determine the best plan of action for staffing and operations for this department. So there may be changes.
What was that?
Rachel? Yeah, well, this is one of the departments that we've kind of tried to figure out how to best approach this, because we do have a lot of heavy equipment that needs repairs. We send them off. It's expensive. There's a long wait time. And a lot of times the long wait time is, just parts that the company's waiting for. So, it can be 6 months if something will be out there. So as we try to determine what causes the lengthy delays for getting this back, initially we're like, well, let's hire somebody to do the work here. Well, if we get 4, we would not just need 1, we'd need 3 or 4 heavy equipment mechanics to come in. But they'll be faced with the same situation that some of these places we're outsourcing to is the parts just take a long time to come in. So this is something that we talk about regularly, trying to figure out a solution. Right now, we presented a budget, kind of keeping how we're doing it right now with sending some things out. And Matthew's been in charge of this department for 2 years now.
About 2 years, and just to add to that, we have about 160 units, vehicle units in our fleet. About the same when it comes to pieces of equipment. As been mentioned, we have units that are aged, some even as far back as 1990. With the older equipment, the challenge is obsolete parts. And with the newer equipment, this is the technology that it takes to get those repaired, waiting for parts, the cost. We outsource about 80 to 85% of our work right now. So yes, that's one of the things that we're looking at is having some kind of a lead mechanic to oversee the repair, see if it's something that can be done in-house. If it's outsourced, they'll provide a quote. He'll review the quote to see if it makes sense or not. If it doesn't, we're going to question it. And that's what we're looking for.
But not every issue that we have is a waiting on part issue, right? So,
Just the big ones, a lot of the big ones,
yeah.
heavy equipment.
So, I understand that sometimes things happen out in the field that are not preventative.
Correct?
But do you think it would help if we had technicians or mechanics on site at the garage, in your opinion?
Well, at one time, we had up to 7 mechanics, from heavy equipment to your regular mechanic, doing your everyday kind of jobs. We also had somebody working on mowers and saws. And right now, you find a lot of departments, from maintenance construction, parks department, that are doing their own maintenance. We allow them to come in, utilize the shop, we'll order the parts for them, and that way they can get the equipment out there a whole lot faster. So they're helping us out as well.
So I know that one time we did this, and then we got away from that. Why did we get away from that? And was that maybe, what was the reason for that? And then going maybe partially back to that, would that be good? That's kind of the question that I'm trying to figure out here.
We didn't go completely away, so we still have mechanics. We have a welder and 3 mechanics out there, so we're still doing a lot of the work in-house.
Okay.
Just some of the ones that, mainly on the heavy equipment, if we can't, and if it's real technical and we can't get to it, yeah, it's gonna get outsourced. And a lot of the
Sure.
heavy equipment that we have, there's a lot of electronics and not like they were in the old days. It's a problem that we have with fire engines, with heavy equipment. They're built differently, and so there's a lot of things that can go wrong that somebody needs to diagnose.
Right.
And a lot of things we don't have the equipment to diagnose, that expensive equipment that the dealerships will have.
Right.
We don't, and so a lot of times that has to go out there.
Right, and the way sometimes heavy equipment does go down, we'll need to have, 2 or 3 heavy equipment mechanics. Otherwise, it's going to be backed up. We only have 1 mechanic that handles heavy equipment.
Right.
So right now, we just have 2 mechanics?
2 mechanics, one is actually out there working on equipment, vehicles, of course, the lighter stuff, oil change, brake job.
Radiator.
What was that?
Radiator?
Radiator. The other is also doing the lead
Right.
portion of that program, where he is actually receiving the parts, receiving the customers, receiving the work orders from our staff, vehicles that go in their piece of equipment, on the phone, purchasing parts. So it's like a mechanic and a half, but budget-wise, there's 2 mechanics and 1 welder.
Now, Demetrio, would you say, in your personal opinion, things have gotten more difficult ever since they put in the urea,
The dev?
the exhaust cleaners in the diesel vehicles? That's why we're having to get more technicians to work on stuff, because the majority of our diesel equipments, they aren't the simple diesels that they used to be. They're
Correct.
smart diesels.
I agree with you.
I even know that Patrick was telling me that some of the fire trucks, that they'll have to run them out to Ben Bolton back just to get it hot enough to get that exhaust system working and
Right.
all that. So, do they, I guess, do they sell any heavy equipment like dump trucks and stuff like that, where we can start phasing out these diesels and maybe gasoline? I know, like the F-650s, we're going to start coming with the V10 gasoline engine. They could be used for dump trucks and all other things like that. Is that general, do you think that would be a good way to start going? To
Oh,
kind of,
definitely. We go also, plus we go through a lot of DEF.
Yes.
As far as the everyday use of units. Some use up to 5 gallons or 5, they come in 2.5-gallon containers. They use up to 5 of those a day. So yeah, it's very costly. I know some departments do keep it in stock just because they go through it quite a bit, and we order as needed at the garage. So yeah, something to definitely look at, to look and invest into machinery, equipment, vehicles that are non-DEF use.
Perfect. All director heads and everybody, please keep that in mind.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Demetrio.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and thank you guys for everything y'all do, man.
Next, we have the engineering department. You will notice there is a savings in the salaries, but in professional services, you'll notice that we did add to the budget there to utilize a contract we have with an engineering firm that we already have established, so if we do need it, to hire someone, or not hire someone, to use someone, we have money already budgeted for that.
Okay. Any questions?
Next, we have the Parks Department. Not much change on this department. We do have 2 units that we will finish paying off also with the enterprise, the lease purchases. We also lowered park and athletic field supplies and services just based on year-to-date numbers. But other than that, there was not too much. Oh, one more thing I forgot, I'm sorry. If you continued the next department, neighborhood facility, we didn't budget for it in its own department. We went ahead and combined it with the Parks Department. And the old neighborhood facility is the old Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, got it. Any questions?
Are they, is this department good with like mowers and trimmers and everything basically needed to get the jobs done, or are we still buying used mowers?
We could always use equipment, but we make do with what we have. We have older equipment, we have older trucks just like everybody else, but we try to make it work as long as finance puts money into to repair stuff, because stuff breaks down all the time, but, you know, we're getting by.
Okay, all right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Mike.
What about staff on your parks? Are we shorthanded on the Parks Department?
So I've talked to Mike about, so we have the weedy lots now. And that takes up a lot of time and work. So we could get, maybe another person for the weedy lots, that would help a little bit.
On part of what you guys were talking about earlier is working with the county, so we could remove all the maintenance on the levee, and if it is the county's levee, have them maintain it. That would
Free up our guys.
free up a lot of
Free up
people,
our guys a lot.
because they're out there
Okay.
all the time.
Okay, thank you.
That'll fix it.
Okay,
Thank you, Mike.
thanks, Mike.
Any other questions? Okay. Next, we have the inspection department. In this department, some little changes. We finished up the copier lease, so you'll notice that decrease. We did have to increase the professional services, and that was just based on year-to-date, what the charges have been. Any questions?
We're good.
Next, we have the codes department. This department, we also paid off a lease copier. We also have a unit, I believe it's one, right? One unit being paid off with the enterprise. And another thing we're trying to do is trying to allocate some money for the abandoned homes. We're just looking to see how to fund this.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out a funding structure, and Patrick, you had a quote from someone, right, that had an average per home?
I've had a couple different conversations with some third-party companies that could come in and help us with some of the demolishing of the homes, and it averaged between $2,500 to $5,000. Sometimes it can get a little bit bigger depending on the size of the structure, but I've had a couple different companies that they would be willing to come in and have a set rate that they would average out, and we'd have to get a little bit more into discussions with them about disposal, and some of them were looking for some help with the disposal fees or the tipping fees and things at the landfill. There's some things that we don't accept at our landfill too, so we really couldn't help them in those parts. But yeah, we've have had some conversations. And
We're trying to come up with a number that we would feel comfortable, of course, finding a way in the budget to get it, so it cuts somewhere to add to here, but maybe in the $25,000 range, to get us maybe 8 to 10, depending on the size of these small abandoned homes that are falling.
The other thing to keep in mind is, it's not just go out and start tearing down. There's a process that we have to go through to legally demolish some of these homes. And so, it's easy to say, well, we've got 100 homes we've got to demolish. We're going to demolish them all in 1 year. That's not really realistic. We've got, the process is lengthy, and it's in months at a time. So we're starting that process here recently, maybe 2-3 meetings ago. You guys reappointed the Building and Standards Commission, so we're getting that process going. So what our plan is to have homes that are ready to be, have already gone through that process and ready to be demolished. And as we find funding to do that, we can start.
How many are ready?
Right now, we have 0 ready for demolition.
But we have a list.
Yes, we have a list that ready, that we haven't gone through the legal process, 0.
Right.
But we have plenty that have been identified and are ready to start that process.
So what's the turnaround time to get them?
Yeah, if we get, let's say, 10 on this list and get them in front of the,
I'd say 3 months.
Wow.
okay.
Wow, so we can get some stuff done if we needed to.
If you don't mind me asking, what does that consist of? Because if we're gonna go in and tear it down, do we now own that property, or just, I guess, fill in the blanks there?
No, we place a lien on that property, and so it would go into that lien process. But yeah,
So that's one of those scenarios where we have to have the money up front,
correct,
get reimbursed on the backside.
correct.
But it cleans up the neighborhood, looks a lot
Yeah, it
better.
does.
And then if anybody ever wants to buy into that lot or whatever,
Well, and sometimes it makes
You know.
that property more valuable in some cases, and,
Right.
you could increase
a
the
lot of
property
people don't
value.
want to bother with a demo. You know,
Right.
you're getting a cut rate there of 2,500 of,
Yeah.
a small building, compared to others, right? You got the disposal, but
Yeah, that would be kind of one of my concerns, is somebody would try to abuse the system. Say, like, they bought a property and there's a derelict building, they can, hey, if we can get the city to tear it down, well, then I don't have to pay for that, and then I'll build the building on it, so I just want to make sure that the ones that we are doing are, they're absolute necessaries, and it's not necessarily somebody trying to take advantage of it.
Right, yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Okay.
Okay, next we have the library department.
Oh, well, I did
Oh, I'm
have one
sorry.
more question about the codes. I had heard a rumor that they don't have ticket books. Is that true, or?
They're working on it with, the chief left, but Chief Thomas can talk to it. There was a transition. The PD moved to a new ticketing system, and when we went to move to it, we were under the impression that it was also gonna help out on codes and give them the opportunity to ticket. But when it came down to it, unfortunately, they shared with us when Chief Thomas was reaching out to them, they were like, well, that's not really in our wheelhouse, but we can build it for you. And we're like, well, that's not how it was presented to us. So they are, Chief can talk to it, but I believe that we're on the cusp of having it available.
So we're still having some conversations with that company. Chief Garcia's been kind of communicating with them, hoping that they can come up with a solution. But if they can't, we're going to move on and try to find another solution to that problem. But yeah, we do have that issue right now.
So they haven't been able to give tickets for how long now?
Probably about a year now.
Holy
It's been a long process.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
How many tickets do we usually give in a year?
That means we hired all of these people to do the code enforcement about the cars, but they're not able to give tickets.
Well, they're not always,
Well-
they're also still doing a lot of inspections, and
So keep in mind though, tickets are just a small part of what we do. We don't really look to give tickets, we look for compliance. And so there's other ways that we can get compliance. And so tickets isn't the only thing the only solution to getting the compliance. So.
Right. But why is it taking so long? I love you, Patrick, but why is this taking so long? Like,
Funding, it's really what it comes down to.
I get the checkbook out, dude. We've been a year without permit. I mean, without.
oh, but and how many tickets do we give out?
That's what I was gonna ask. I mean, I don't know if we're,
It just sounds really bad.
it sounds bad, but I don't think you're gonna see you're not seeing the
Yeah,
loss in
Maybe it's
revenue.
one a month, but whatever. I don't know.
Well, you won't see.
think.
You won't see a huge. It's not like what the police department does.
Right.
It's not at that
Got
level.
it.
But you will see an increase in some citations, but it's not gonna. You're not gonna see a huge income from tickets. Yeah.
But so,
Well, if nothing
but-
else, it scares the person.
But it's a deterrent,
doing it.
right?
It'll be a deterrent to
Yeah,
be
that,
able to.
the biggest thing for us is that it helps with compliance. You know, if somebody doesn't comply and they find out they're.
So what are we doing in lieu of that right now? I mean,
Right now, we just do a lot of negotiating with the offenders. You know, is really what we do. We try to get compliance out of them.
Well, I'm kind of confused. I thought we talked before about this ticket process, and Ruben and the chief, and I thought it was just a matter of the program. Is that the same thing? Are we talking about the same thing?
Yes, we're talking about the
Okay.
same thing.
That it was a program that they're working on for us.
Correct. Originally, when we went with when we were negotiating with this company, they were going to include the code enforcement side of the citation. So there's a big difference between a traffic ticket and a code enforcement ticket. They're different types of laws. They're not criminal laws. They're civil laws. And so we've got to be real. You know, there's a difference. And so that's where it came. The company that we're dealing with on the police department side, they deal with criminal laws. So traffic citations, regular types of citations. Our citations are a little different. They're more civil violations. So some of them are code ordinances that are given, but they're not a ticket that somebody's going to go to jail for. It's a ticket that they're going to. Now, eventually they could go to jail if it goes to municipal court and they don't show up and they just evade that whole process. They could get warrants, but it's very rare. And
So what happened? Was there a misunderstanding, Patrick, when we were switching over about the ticketing part? Or what happened?
No, I don't know if it was a misunderstanding. It was just and that was Chief Garcia.
The program itself wasn't invented. They didn't have it, right?
So why did we jump into it knowing that?
Well, our officers have this.
So when we went to Trusted Driver, we were looking at expense. So the current system the system that we had at the time, which we don't know more, it was a lot of money that we were spending. So our system, for example, the machines that we currently had, we call them ticket writers, each one is $1,700 per ticket writer. We had 14. They were all outdated. We purchased those in 2013. So, and then you have a printer, and then you have paper. So I think we saved the city a little over $100,000 by not doing that. So we went to this new system. And so that new system saved us money. The only problem is that they don't have anything for codes. So we are I guess they're working on building one for us. And it's going to take them a little time. And I think that time, 2 weeks ago, they said about a month they'd have something for us. But they've been working on that because we're the first city that they're going to utilize codes for. And so it's expanded throughout South Texas, this new company. It's called Trusted Driver, but they didn't have anything for codes, but now it's being developed so now they can push it out at no cost to us. It's not going to cost us anything.
So in theory, for example, there's a violation of whatever. Code enforcement shows up. A police officer could show up to the side and issue a citation.
No.
No, they don't have the program.
The laws are what's uploaded into their system is different than what's going to be uploaded into our system. So what they would cite for are two different types of situations.
So right now, that's part of the new structure or the new mechanism that they're developing is to upload all the city ordinances into where it's easy for us. We can,
but these tickets aren't even written, right? They're printed out, right?
They're off your phone.
So it's all electronic, and, yeah, so they're not even written.
So
all digital.
Everything is digital, and so city codes. Every city is different. Every city is different. Maybe some are the same, but most cities are all different. They have different. It's not like the state where our laws are all the same throughout the state of Texas. Whereas city codes are different, so it takes them time to implement that system into the new software.
The simple answer is we were trying to be cost effective and kind of roll it all into one system so we could kind of be standardized, and in doing so it kind of complicated things. So we were completely separate, we weren't on the same system. We were trying to get to the same system.
So what's the game plan from here?
But the net effect, either way, of not having those, how often do we write tickets? I mean, a weedy lot, we send a notice out that gets compliance.
Right.
We hardly ever give tickets on weedy lots. And
so it's a building of the
revenues.
program. So we haven't had code officers for maybe 3-4 years now, and so we've slowly been changing the way we're doing things and adding to what we're enforcing and what we're trying to do to clean up. So the biggest thing was the weedy lots. The next biggest thing is the junked vehicles. We're working on junk vehicles and a program for that. And so we're kind of trying to eat the elephant one bite at a time. And so as we're going through, tickets is the next part of that process, right? So there are code ordinances or code violations that require a citation and not a letter or us sending somebody to go cut a yard. They're different types of citations. So people selling things without permits, operating without permits, things like that. Those require citations. And so that's where it's not a lot, it's not a bulk of what we're doing. And to be honest, once we start delving into that, we don't know how busy we're gonna be with some of that stuff. We know we get the complaints. Sometimes we talk to the people, and most of the time, we're able to get compliance by just having conversations with them and bringing them into compliance and citations down.
So before this happened, like say the year before, how many citations were actually given?
We weren't giving citations.
Yeah, see, I think that's where the confusion, it's not like we were giving citations,
All
now
right.
we hit
That's
upon
the way it
it, we
was
stop.
portrayed.
It's like we're
Yeah,
trying to
no,
add
we're-
citations to our code office.
Yeah.
We weren't writing citations and all of a sudden, our program
Right.
went
It's
out.
probably been maybe 10 years since a code enforcement citation has been given.
Yeah.
So do we even need them?
Yeah, I think it's like y'all said, it's more of if that's an ability, if we have that, then yeah, it's a deterrent. So, and if it's
the
no
next step in
cost,
cleaning up the city.
I think so. I think we need it.
yeah.
Well,
need to keep
okay, well, first of all,
How do we
like,
handle
in a year, you said how many would y'all have written?
I can't give you that number, how many we would have written.
Really, Patrick, you give us like numbers, like crazy numbers. You don't have a ballpark, like 25, 10, 8?
No, I'd probably say it's more than that. I'd probably say we could easily 50 to 100 tickets in a year.
Okay.
Easily.
Yeah, that needs to be done then.
That's not.
Even if it's old school, handwritten,
Yeah.
just something.
Well, that was the
document.
original approach. We asked for some funding to replace ticket books. We had some old ticket books that were sitting there that we were kind of using, and we wanted to replace those. We don't have any more at this time, and that's when they were like, well, the PD is about to do this. Why don't we just bring you onto that? And so it was a cost savings type of approach that we were trying to do.
We're getting there. We're a month away.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, Alice is on the map again for something new. We're creating a new program there. Yeah, a new system.
So there's a new system coming down? Is that what you're saying?
That's what we're waiting on.
Due to this happening,
Got
this
it.
company.
Yeah, that's
they don't-
we're about a month out,
don't
hopefully,
have it.
with that company trying to develop a program too.
Well, I apologize, because the way it was portrayed, it was like we dropped the ball. And
No.
then the look on your face, you realize, I was like, poor Patrick, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well,
That's,
we're not here to judge you, you know? I want to just kind of fix
What it is we're trying to clean up our community. We're trying to make our community a cleaner, safer community.
Right.
And some of that, and we've been we're re-educating our community on how to do things, right? And what's the right way to maintain your property? What's the right way to
No.
follow our, right?
No. People know.
Yeah.
Remind them.
And-
Not educating, we're reminding them.
Remind them.
And so, but you are correct. Right now, we're at the point where the reminding needs to come from a citation. That's the next level.
We're a month away, so, sorry, I didn't mean to blow that up, so I apologize for that. I think we're good on that, though.
Okay.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick.
We're good.
Okay, next we have the library department. There is one increase in their facility repair maintenance supplies, and this is so that they can change out all their lights to LED. So it's a cost here, but it should be a
Nice.
savings, yes. Any questions?
what's the cost of that?
We still- I'm sorry, go ahead.
The cost, it was 14,000, I believe.
The estimate I got was about 12 some.
Oh, sorry, 12.
They have 500 fixtures. Each one of those have up to 2 to 4 light bulbs.
So,
And they all have to be retrofitted because they're from the 60s. And they no longer make the bulbs that go in them right now, so I can't buy new ones.
Excuse me, can you pull the mic close to you?
Yeah, I'm a little short. Sorry, guys.
Okay, and can you introduce yourself for?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Janine Bertuca. I'm your library director.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
So
What
about
line item
4,000.
is the-
so every light bulb we replace, or?
Yes.
Because I know
There's a
that,
few fixtures.
430?
There's going to be a few fixtures to get replaced because they're totally broken, but for the most part, they said they can retrofit and get the LEDs in there, which will save us money in the long run. But they'll be cheaper to run.
right.
and I have a lot.
So all the fixtures are gonna be changed out?
Yeah, no, not all the fixtures. They're going to be retrofitted. They have to do something in there. But he said that some of the fixtures had to be totally replaced. I mean, they're bad.
Got it.
I had that done in my entire office, and it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, we're not even going to be like a very high bulb. He's like, because you would be blown away. I'm like, well, we don't need sunglasses, dude. We just need to be able to read. But yeah, he says it's going to make a huge difference.
It's going to be good.
Even some of the ones that the ballasts are broken, those will work with the LED.
Yes.
So we're going to get full functionality. I'm very excited.
I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, man.
I remember I did my house and we had a bunch of lights, and if I was to replace every single one of them, I'd probably get a 10.
Yeah, that's
You know,
what.
So it was every third one, so yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the guy said.
Okay.
The only question I have is on the library books, like refurbishing. Do we still have that grant where we purchase books?
I haven't got a grant to purchase books in a while. I've been using that grant to digitize our microfilm.
Oh, okay.
So I have about 90 reels left to digitize, and then we'll be up to date, because right now we have from 1899 to 2000 digitized, so I want to do the other 90 reels, and then I can start going for that grant for books.
Okay, because I just want to make sure we're keeping up with the.
Oh, yeah.
We give, it's 15,000
Yeah, it was
books every year.
something like that, 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I'm curious, what do you do with the old microfiche?
Oh, it's there. I have a microfilm reader.
Wow.
You can still use it that way, but we get people even from Canada who want to look at our resources. So this is a way for them to be able to access it without, because we don't have the staff to sit there and, because it's not a keyword. It's by date. So if they don't know what date something happened, literally staff has to go page by page, which takes forever. And with only 3 of us, we just can't do it. So
Yeah.
digitizing is a must.
That's
And it's so much cheaper too than the microfilm. So going forward, it's only like $200 to digitize a whole year versus $1,500 to microfilm it.
Wow.
awesome.
Well, it seems like we'll have a savings in electricity. I know
Yes, I
know we
hope so.
budgeted 19
It does.
versus 14.
Yeah,
And supposedly it makes the building cooler too.
So,
hopefully all around, that's my hope.
because on our proposed budget, we have 19,000 and okay, up 5 from last year. So we should probably look into.
Yeah, well, we're just being, because we don't know when it's gonna happen, we wanna be conservative, make sure, and then, yeah, we'll adjust accordingly once we start seeing.
Is it gonna happen, or do we have the lighting?
Oh, yeah. If
If-
you all
once
say
this is
yes, it's
adopted-
gonna happen.
Once this is adopted, then we'll give her.
I mean, we're
green
half
light.
in the dark right now. It has
Oh.
to happen. to
Hold
be
on,
honest
sir.
with you.
If you wanna
I'm
read,
sorry.
if you wanna read books, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's what it's like. We have to do this. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna be
No.
in the dark by this time next year if we don't.
No, for sure.
I think your programs too are really, really nice. I know my
Thank you.
grandkids enjoy.
Those
going
are all
to
from
those.
grants.
Yeah, from grants.
Yeah.
And your walk-in traffic is still the same
Yeah,
amount of people?
this summer's been our best summer ever.
Good.
It really has. Summer reading program blown out of the water, twice what I anticipated.
See, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
So
so
the
I mean, we're
community
getting
knows.
people in, even in the dark.
How much money do you save our constituents with grant money per year?
Well, right now I got one for 8,000 for our programming. I'm working one for the computers. I tried to get one for computers. So we're talking about another 6. I don't know, maybe 20,000.
Thank you.
That's good.
Okay.
Every penny matters.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Any other questions?
We're good.
The next department we have is the grant administration. And if you'll notice proposed, I zeroed it out. Like I mentioned earlier, we moved it to the finance department. And then the next page is transfers out. We didn't budget any transfers going to any funds. So those are all zeros. The total expenses for all of the general fund totaled $14,366,490, which will give us a surplus of $2,593. So,
Okay.
So we're saving money.
That's one house, that's one house we can demo.
There you go.
Is that a good stopping point?
Yeah.
That finishes our general fund. That's 22 different departments in the general fund. trying to operate off the $14,366,000, which of that, the property tax portion of that is around the, what was it, the 5.5 million or so. So gives you an idea of where we are. And at our next meeting, we'll continue with the enterprise funds, the solid waste, the utility fund, the airport fund, golf course, multi-use, debt service fund, hotel occupancy, and capital improvements.
Okay?
I
Appreciate it.
have one quick question. Now that we got this section completed, and if there's more questions, we'll be able to ask it at the next workshop, correct?
We're just
Come back
organizing
to
this
it?
budget.
It'll always be open.
Is it gonna be before we start
It's
kicking
however you
in,
guys-
or?
it's however you guys want to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I.
We've got 3 budget workshops, and we're just organizing it to follow the flow that we have on the budget book, which is the general fund, of course, the 22 different departments in there. It's a largest fund with departments, and that's what we did today. So some of these will come back, and I took notes to be able to circle back at some of these. So that'll either be in the middle of the next budget workshop, or in the beginning, or
Okay.
when we're done with it, however you guys want to do it.
Okay.
Now, the meeting on the 19th, that budget workshop, I'm sorry, that's our standard.
Right.
Excuse me, our
We also have it as a budget
Yes.
workshop, yes.
We're also going to do a budget all that? Okay, got it. So we'll probably split the other one in half.
And then that and the last meeting is,
26.
we can come back and also look at all of them at once.
Okay.
The last budget workshop.
Tomorrow, just a special meeting, right?
Tomorrow, just for a couple of things, and on the next shot.
That'll be the
Okay.
Okay, we're good?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. The time is 12:32, and we're going to take in a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a
Mayor-
motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.